I started working with Joey, my life was crazy. I had been through too much. I was at my wit's end. I couldn't take any more. I really didn't have any reason to wake up in the morning. I couldn't walk out my front door. Just going towards my front door, just to open it, would scare the heck out of me. I just couldn't take any more. And I had been depressed, full of social anxiety, suffering with post-traumatic stress disorder. I really had a life full of behavioral patterns that were very harmful and destructive to not only me, but my family, my children. And I was really secluded from people. Okay, well, working with Joey is bringing me out of the seclusion. I'm able to go into grocery stores. I'm able to talk to people just, at my mailbox. I'm able to talk to people now. I have a hope for tomorrow. I have a hope for my future. I'm seeing myself changing in ways that I never thought I would change. I'm seeing things that have kept me down since I was a little girl and a teenager and a young lady. Just these things are changing. And my life is changing. I'm changing. I'm starting to live. And I think all my life I've been living for other people and to please other people, and it's not really living. But now I'm starting to live. I'm starting to breathe. I'm starting to see things, enjoy things, just like sitting by the ocean. There's meaning in that now. Versus when you go and sit by the ocean with your friends or your family, you're just kind of like, you're just there. You think you're enjoying your time, but you're not really enjoying everything that it has to offer, even if it's just the feel of the sand on your fingers. I'm learning things like that. I'm learning creativity. I'm learning how to process in a non-self-destructive way and in a constructive way, a creative way. I'm processing my emotions. I'm just seeing big changes. My kids are seeing changes. It's getting to the point to where my kids are looking and saying, maybe I need to see Joey because she's just that good. Since I was a little girl, they took me out of my natural family's home and they put me in foster care. And I've been seeing psychologists, psychiatrists since I was a preteen. And I've seen them throughout the years. I've seen Christian psychiatrists, I've seen non-Christian psychiatrists, I've just seen regular therapists, MFTs, you just name it. And even though I've gotten through that season in my life, there was no awe, there was no awakening inside me that said, okay, I'm good from here out. There was just always something that got me out of the situation. It was a temporary fix. It's like putting a nicotine patch, it's a temporary fix. With Joey, it's not a temporary fix. She brings to mind, she makes you question. She doesn't tell you what to do or how to do it. She brings about questions in your own mind. So in all reality, she's helping you to change you. She's not changing you. Which the difference is if you go to a psychiatrist, they feed you medication and they try and change you. They give you little tools. Joey doesn't give you those little tools. She gives you life-changing tools. Okay, the thing that I realized with working with Joey is we already have a truth inside of us. We already have the answers inside of us. And even though through the years I have fought with those answers, I never knew them as truth and answers. The bad parts, what we would consider the bad parts inside of the depression and sadness and self-destruction and confusion and all those things I'm realizing are there for a reason. They're teaching me something. And I think that's what Joey's teaching, is the things that are inside of us, the truth that's inside of us can help us grow. And I'm learning answers from inside of me. The questions that I have when I ask myself, she's helping me to find out that I actually have the answers inside of me, and I've had them there the whole time. And as many psychiatrists as I've been through, they never told me that. I didn't know I had the answers inside of me already. I like knowing that when I've battled inside of me, you know, when I'm facing a problem, and I'm saying, like a marriage, for example, and I know that I really shouldn't marry this person, but everybody else is telling me you should, this is the best thing for you, and so on. I had the answer already. If I would have only believed in me, then I could have answered that, and I could have saved myself a whole lot of hurt and a whole lot of trouble. But Joey is teaching me to listen to that truth that's already inside of me instead of all the voices that are going on outside of me. And no therapist has ever taught me that, and no human being has ever taught me that. This is amazing news to me, that I could have prevented so much if I would have listened to the truth inside of me. So now I can hear that voice. And even though I battle it, I can still listen to it. I know what it is now. I know what that voice is now. It's a truth. It's that little girl inside of me that says, I know the truth. You know? I don't know. I love you. Since working with Joey, I've walked away with some things that really stand out to me. And a few of them would be, the one I like and always think of most is no worries. That we have a tendency to create a story inside of our heads, or inside of my head, and instead of just letting stuff happen and work out itself, I create in advance the end result. Another thing that I've learned is honoring. That's a big one. Honoring. If I learn to honor and love myself, that other people are going to see that. And I think that's a big one, because I think a lot of people who are coming from trials really just don't love themselves. They don't honor themselves. They don't feel worth inside of themselves. And I know that before I came to see Joey, I really had no self-worth. I completely doubted who I was. I completely doubted any of my truths inside of me. I listened to other people and what they thought of me, and really, it really mattered to me what other people thought. And she's really teaching me to, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. You know, you work on you, you love you, you cherish you, you honor you, you know. That's a big one. Regular therapists don't teach you to honor yourself. You know, you hear the saying all the time, you see it on bumper stickers, you see it through places, that if you don't love you, no one else will. What does that mean? You know, I mean, we don't really, honest to goodness, know what that means. I do now. I do. Since I started seeing Joey, I know what it means now. And it's an honoring, it's a cherishing, it's a compassion for you and what you've been through. The way I've experienced Joey is she's just, she really listens. She's very compassionate, and she very much keeps me in check with the things that I say. Like, if I say something is bad, she'll remind me that it's not bad. And it's that repetitive kind of backup that she gives me, that when I'm out there, you know, talking to my friends or talking to my children, and I say, I know you guys may think this is crazy, but I because of Joey keeping up with it, I keep hearing her voice in the back of my head saying, it's not crazy, it's not bad. You know, there's no good or bad to it. So I like that part. I like that a lot. Oh, okay. And I liked one very big thing that has stuck with me. And when I get really depressed, I remember it. And I do still, you know, and that is that I told her that I didn't believe in me, and I didn't believe that, you know, this kind of stuff is for me, that good things, you know, that good things can be forming, but good things can happen to me. And I didn't think that, honestly, when I first started seeing Joey, I thought that there are people out there in this world who were just born for crud. You know, that nothing good's gonna happen to them. Some people just are born into it and they leave in the same condition as what they came into. And some people were just born to be blessed. And I didn't feel like I was one of those. And Joey told me that it's okay if I didn't believe for myself right now that I was meant for good things, that she's going to believe for me. And that touched my heart so much, to think that somebody is going to hold on to something for me until I can grasp it myself. I don't think I've ever been told that in all my life. And I think it takes an amazing person to say, I'm going to believe for you, to take that burden for you and to believe for you until you can do it yourself. That takes an amazing individual. That takes a compassionate individual. Somebody who really can understand what's going on inside. Because I think when people are hurting, that's what they really need. They just need somebody who can just take a little bit of something for a short amount of time until they can get rid of a few things. Then they can take those back and get rid of those few things. Joey takes a few of those things with just a few words. And that really helps. And that's something that you don't get anywhere else. The words I would use to describe Joey is fun, real. She's very real, very down to earth, very earthy, very compassionate, very understanding. She has amazing insight. Joey she's enlightened somehow. I don't even know. I don't know how she do what she do. If somebody was considering working with Joey, I would completely recommend her. She's life-changing. She'll bring you down a path that you've never been down. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure. I'm 43 and I've never gone down this path before. And I've been a Christian for 17 years, and before that I was just living life like anybody else does. So I've had the different aspects that could have changed my life, and they have changed my life. But I've never been down this path before, so I would completely recommend this to anybody. It's life-changing. It's soul-changing.